What's going on, everybody? So the Steam Winter Sale is on. It started at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was waiting for this because, well, I got a lot of games in my wish list. I'm sure you do. Unfortunately, I'm unemployed, so I'm probably gonna have to look at the $2, $3 games. But you can help. I am develop. Me and my team are developing a game called The Glorious Cause, and if you go to the link that's in the description and on the screen, you can learn more about it. It's basically a tactical battle simulator of battles from the American Revolution. And if you dive into it, it's also going to have a campaign mode and a strategic mode, but you can learn more about it there. And we're in talks with the publisher right now, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers on that, knock on wood. But let's talk Steam today. Okay, so I do like this nice. They always do something nice, like nice animations. I gotta give it to Steam. The Steam team, that rhymes. How about that? Valve. Wow, this just came out and it's 30% off, and I heard this did pretty well, but I would love to get it. But chances are, even if I did have an income, um, I don't know if I can afford the recommended requirements, which is at minimum, it says a 3060 Ti. Okay, so that's how many generations behind that? I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, it says AMD RX 67 XT. I'm at a 6600. So I'm not gonna be able to play this game. Probably on low graphics. And if you guys don't know, the graphics card market is just bad right now. Really bad. It's like 2020 bad kind of thing. They're making so many data centers for LLM for AIs that it's like bonkers crazy. Now that spilled over to RAM. So if you need RAM, get it now because the prices are soaring. Last I saw it was like 64 gigabytes. Was like $960 from, I forgot what manufacturer and I forgot what DDR, but a lot, right? And now there's been some talk that it's going to go into the SATA realm. So if you're looking for a SATA SSD, buy it now because these companies that are making AI server farms are buying it all up and driving costs up. So, it is what it is. But the one thing that I will tell you is, me and my team, we're committed. We're developing the game with, when we release the game in early access, it's all gonna be man-made. Like you're not gonna see AI in there. My programmer is very passionate about that, and I kind of understand, because who wants to play like AI slop kind of games, right? Eventually, AI will probably come out to, oh, wow, Fallout 76 is $3.99. That is insane. Okay, and this game is now, it came out really bad. The early reviews were really bad, but now it's mostly positive, which is amazing. $479 for Ace Combat 7. These are really great prices. $249. That's normal price I always see for that one. But yeah, so we're definitely doing that, and the only AI that's going to be in our game is going to be an AI opponent. But for my Glorious Cause game, don't fret. We are going to have multiplayer. And my programmer explained to me how difficult that is for, a strategic / tactical game, the full game that we're making. That's going to take a couple of years to make. And I was just like, I know, we're gonna do it. No matter what resources we got to do, even if I have to empty out whatever I have left, my savings and accounts. We're gonna do that. Like we need multiplayer, right? I want to play against human players, right? The AI is, the AI in like Grand Tactician is sometimes challenging, but if I put real effort into it, I can win the war, which I am currently winning the war in the current one. And I'm hoping they add it in Grand Tactician Napoleon, which has just been announced. Kingdom Come Deliverance, very positive. What's better, very positive or mostly positive? I think very positive, right? Cyberpunk, the new DLC. I actually bought, I think, the base game, for like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks. The DLC being $21. Now compare that to like, and then this is another DLC. DLCs are getting expensive, except from Slitherine. I have to give it to Slitherine, man, because like, I did a thing recently on their DLCs, and their DLCs are really like Battle of the Bulge, which is $9.99. It's now $7.99. They just came out with a new DLC where you play as the Soviets for $5. I'm assuming that's probably on sale. Let's check it out to see if their new. I want to see if their $5 game is actually on sale, because that would be freaking sick. Okay, it's not. I wouldn't expect it to be, because it's $5. Its regular prices are cheaper than the. Anyway, but I do like when publishers like kind of consider that, and you're adding a whole Soviets, adding tons of new. I think they're adding, from what I saw, I believe they added new units, and I think there's like 9 scenarios. The first scenario is taking me like, I think it took me like 3-4 hours. So I mean, times that by like, I don't know, 8-9. That's a lot of hours for a $5 game. So we got here PAX Augusta. Oh, what is this? Ooh, recent reviews, 52%. I don't know why it's that. You know how many games there are for like the Roman era, right? There's so many games out there. There's like 1 or 2 on my wish list. And now this one looks to be doing the same thing as that one. And that's why we are developing the Glorious Cause, and it's going to be released within the next couple of months. Because right now, if you want to get into that American Revolution kind of, if you watch Ken Burns' The American Revolution, which is out right now on PBS, so you can watch it for free, there's not a lot of American Revolution games. You have this one, which has mixed reviews. I tried to play it. I tried to get into it so much because it had a strategic layer and a tactical layer, but they were historical inaccuracies. There's just, it's a tutorial that holds your hand through like, I don't know, the first, I don't know how many hours I've played the game, and it didn't open up beyond the northern side. And in my game, for the Glorious Cause that we're going to releasing in a couple of months, that one's just going to focus on numerous battles, so you can get a taste of the tactical engine, and then we're going to add a campaign layer to that. So it's going to be the Glorious Cause, and I'm going to save an announcement of what the campaign is going to cover. But then after that, we're going to develop the full game, which is going to be strategic and tactical. So think Grand Tactician, when you can move armies so easily with like literally just 2 clicks and then zoom down. But unlike Grand Tactician, where it loads a tactical battle map, ours is going to a hex map. So it's going to be like a smooth transition to where your army actually is. We're going to make a hex map from like Canada all the way to the Caribbean from Western Pennsylvania to the Atlantic Ocean, including parts of Europe. So it's going to be big. It's going to be big, and there's going to be a diplomatic section, a policy section, order of armies. So you can, you could put Nathaniel Green as a regimental commander, have him gain experience, promote him, all that good stuff. But after watching, an American Revolution strategy game, there's not much out there, right? Like, you have the Battle of Saratoga here, released about a few weeks ago. So I'm going to give this one a try. It's not on sale. I don't know why it's on sale. But this feels more like a board game. And it doesn't have it definitely feels like a board game. I think I've played one or two games from this developer. And yeah, ours is not going to have, like a box thing, right? I know I listened to you guys, right? Because you guys were all saying, I initially thought this was the best way to go, but you guys were like, no, make actual sprites. So we're making sprites. We're making animated sprites. So they're going to fire. You're going to see smoke. You're going to have some really cool effects. Like if you have a unit in the same hex firing, more than once or twice, right? Smoke's going to build up, accuracy is going to go down. So really cool things like that. But I actually am going to add that to my wish list because I would like to support American Revolution games because there's so few of them. This one I played one time and I was just, no. And it's not even on sale, $25. Dang. I can tell you our game is not going to be $25. And you're going to get a lot of scenarios. You're going to get a number of scenarios with it. Yeah, not a lot. Anyway, let's get back to it here. So I'm going to add this to my wish list. This is $17.49. Normally it's at $25. Is it on early access? No, it's fully out. But this is concerning, $19. So why is it $19? Easiest play, there is no wiggle room. If you don't do the exact play style it calls for, you will lose. Oh, that's not good. I like having a broad thing of whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. There's no real help tutorial in the game. I have to delete and start over. The game claims to be a finished version, but it's not. The UI is clunky, fumby, and feels unfinished. A lot of mouse over tips. Here's the worst part. The game runs very unstable and crashes are constant. Yeah, you definitely need a good beta test. And actually, we're going to put out a post for a beta tester soon because when we release on early access, we want, the game to be from start to finish. You can finish a battle without it getting stuck. Wait, you can get all the Tomb Raiders for $8? Oh, wow. Okay. I bought one of them. But $7, that's a crazy sale. Dang. Okay, that's a good sale. Okay, interesting, very interesting. Okay, what else? What else is there? I feel like this year the sales are more. And this just came out. This is 25% off already. So if you guys missed it, I think during the fall sale they did a 20% off. I think this. So I think it was closer to 300 or under 300. I do love the Steam Deck. It's a great device. Let's see. Popular new releases. Escape Simulator. Hades 2 is obviously, without a doubt, it's going to be incredible. And I heard a lot about this game. So this was really interesting because it has very positive reviews. So 83%. Now, if you looking at the game, right? This reminded me of back when I was a kid and I played Terminator, right? And I bought it for $50. $50 back in the 90s was $100 today, right? So it went for a lot more. But you can see it's like an indie game, which I'm all for. Indie games are, crucial. Uh, it definitely gives me those NES vibes. Okay. You guys all know, yeah, if you saw the movie, you know. Interesting. Terminated. Okay, so wait, the Terminator. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like the T-1000. So I'm assuming once your objective, if you don't save her, you lose the game because you're terminated. I'm not gonna play the audio because it's going to copyright strike me. That's cool. Okay, so you can play in the future. It's like Contra. Nice. Okay. And that's where the gameplay begins. You just shoot up. It would be cool, like, if you could, I don't know. It's like Contra meets Double Dragon. This would be good for like the Steam Deck, without a doubt. Like you can max out the graphics on it. How much is it? Oh wow! Normally it's $30. Wow, 10% off. I mean, I heard incredible reviews about it. I don't think we're gonna be pricing our game at $30. We're gonna be. I want like a lot of people to because I know the economy's rough, right? I'm going through it myself, like applying for jobs left and right, and decided, you know what? After all these jobs, no callbacks, and the callbacks that I did get back were like contractor for short period of time, whatever it may be, no paid vacation, no sick, no paid holidays, all that stuff, and I think I might have to use my own car. It's just like, no. Ooh, Civ Idol. Oh, this is, I checked this out actually a couple days ago. It's kind of like almost Civ for free, but very, different. Very different than the Civ that you're used to. It's almost like, there are no hexes, they're blocks. And each block is like a city or something. I don't know. Definitely has that Windows 95 vibe. I'll tell you, I'm going to post a video after this one showcasing our GUI. And it's not even the final design. Our GUI is incredible. And we have an incredible, talented 2D artist that, I gave her like a draft of what I wanted it to look like. And, she showed me, and then she added these she took commanders and she added a beautiful frame to them, beautiful background. I was just like, wow, So yeah. So the next thing is we're working on bug fixes, AI, and adding animations and sprites to the game. We're going to be doing really cool stuff with that. I really want to tell you guys, but I'm going to save it for like its own announcement. All right, so we see all the stuff that is available, and then let's see what's good for the Steam Deck. There's no sales on the Steam Deck. I wish I can get the OLED. Get the OLED. I bought the LCD version. It's good, but the one thing that I get is I would like a bigger screen. And this has a 7.4 inch screen. If they can make it like 8 inches, maybe even bigger. I don't know, 8.5. I don't know, because like when you're playing games like I play that other one, the first one for that we were talking about earlier. Oh, what's this? All Quiet on the Trenches. Oh, this looks cool. But Kingdom Come Deliverance, I played that, and you can play it on the Steam Deck. It works. However, it's missing. It's not missing anything. It's just if I play it on my gaming rig, the graphics quality is going to be noticeable. So I feel like I'm getting not a raw deal, but this is actually kind of cool. So what do you control, like a squad in this? Let's take a look at the Ultima is a turn-based strategy RPG. Set in World War I, get to know your soldiers, take care of their needs, and lead them in battle, trying to strike a precarious balance between the ambitions of your superiors and the survival of your men. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. So one thing that's like, I play Burden of Command, which makes you like a company leader, right? But like, there are different NCOs, and there's just so many like characters in the game. I get sometimes like lost. I'm like, who are you again? But if you're just like, having like 6 or 7 people, right, in your unit, I could definitely like that would get me to feel those losses. I would be more acclimated to my characters, to the people I command and stuff like that. So I wouldn't put them in harm's way because I'm like, I don't want to lose Sven, and stuff like that. I'd be willing to break orders. This actually is really cool. Please tell me it's on sale. Early access game. I'm going to add it to my wish list. It's $5 off. So, yeah. Oh, I would want this game so bad. I'm going to follow it too. This is incredible. Oh, man. That is... Like, you find some really amazing jewels. Like, just randomly. And I'm telling you guys, indie games are where it's at, okay? Indie developers are the ones that are making things that are different. Instead of the same old, like, same old. And I'm not going to go over those games, but we all know, like, from AAA developers, they just keep, let's add more graphics quality. Let's just make it more, let's add more of this. People want different experiences, they don't want just like, the new Grand Theft Auto 6, right? They showcased something in it recently. The graphics look great, the animations look great, and obviously, Grand Theft Auto 5 had good reviews, so Rockstar is kind of like almost the exception, but there are a lot of games, especially from like Ubisoft, that just replicate the same thing over and over, and they're failing. Like Company of Heroes 3, I always get tempted to buy it, but I'm like, mixed reviews, so let's take a look at my wish list. All right, I want to see what games are available on my wish list. All right, so I don't know why it always does that. It changes now. All right, so sort by this. The Witcher. I always say I'm going to get that. I'm going to get this. The reason why is I am watching actually the documentary for Disco Elysium right now. It's by NoClip. I'm going to put the description, I'm going to put a link in the description, so check it out. It's free to watch if you're on YouTube. It talks about the game, how it started. It goes over the team, how they were like, just very scrappy in the beginning, like they knew they had something, and their struggle to get funding, and how they solved the combat issue. And I love where you have like these passionate indie developers that are just like so like working night and day, not because some higher up is saying you gotta do it's crunch time. No, they're doing it because like they love it, right? There was one dev for this. She's like in the office till like 8, 9 o'clock, and she was doing it because she just loved what she was doing, which is incredible. That's why indie game devs are amazing. Like I'm doing my game and I'm taking whatever money I have left to put into it because, I want to do it. I kept postponing it, and Slytherin, said, hey, if you ever develop a prototype, let us see it. And I'll let you guys know in a future announcement what happens. But we are definitely going early access, and I'm aiming for late January, early February. But it was really amazing, like the art style, the isometric thing that they were talking about in the documentary, where they can like add these amazing graphics without just needing a team of like 500 people, And so that was like, wow. Wow, it does look beautiful, I'll be honest. I'm actually going to buy this now because before I watch part 3 of the documentary, I'm going to play the game a little bit. It's amazing what NoClip has done. They do documentaries for everything, for like Hades, which is a game I would have never bought had it not been for NoClip. I also bought another game, which was... what other game did I buy? There's another game I bought that NoClip did. The Dwarf Fortress. So Dwarf Fortress was another game that I bought because of their documentary on it, the passion between the developers. It was just like amazing. So, and that passion really like gets you like, I want to play this game. I want to play this game, right? Because it's not like corporate slop, right? It's not like, hey, you did this game and it did well. Let's make a second one. Well, the second one didn't do well. Let's just repeat what you did in the second one. Maybe add more graphics, and the third one gets worse. And they keep making it, and they don't, and the developers want to go one way, but the publisher wants to go a different way, and it's just like, yeah, stay true to your vision, right? But yeah, very positive. 92%. And they're in Estonia, I think. So yeah, this is definitely, I'm adding to cart. For $4, I can afford that. What else is in my cart? Oh, Supreme Commander. Yeah. And it's still on sale for 75% off. So that should kind of scratch my itch. I have to play this game called Menace. My programmer said, like, play Menace. Is it Menace, I think? Menace. I think he said Menace. Yeah, I think it was Menace. In regards to a few functions that we might add to the game, features and stuff. Fallout 76, I see that they have the guy from the show. The first episode's really good. It got like 93% or 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was good. I wish it was all, released all at once, kind of like Netflix does it. Endzone, I might want to get that. $2.49. See, this is the thing, this is how they get you. Because you add these $2.50, $1.99. I might. I don't know. I gotta slow down because I'm getting too crazy now. This is $10. Now it's $1. That's cheaper than coffee. The Wild 8. I don't know. It would be kind of cool if they did like an RPG, kind of like from The Thing, right? I watched recently rewatched The Thing, and The Thing prequel that came out in 2011, which was all right. Not as good as the original, I think, probably. What is your point in this game? Well, it's team up with friends and... Oh, okay, this is cool. Craft weapons to fight to live another day. So, okay. So it's like a zombie kind of thing. Okay. Mad Max, I heard good things about. This is actually getting cheaper now. It was $15 before, so now it's 80% off. Wow, okay. I honestly, still, Imperator Rome is still my favorite, so I'm probably not going to get that. Whenever I got an itch for Rome, I play Imperator Rome. The Pale Beyond. I honestly thought this was going to be similar to a series that came out on, is it Netflix? About the two ships that were lost. I forgot the name of it, but there were two ships from the Royal Navy that tried to find a way to the Pacific Ocean through, the Northwest Passage kind of thing. And I thought it was going to be like that. And, there was like a big grizzly bear or something like that. But I remember there was a reason I didn't buy this. This is interesting. Okay, I wonder why I didn't buy it. If you guys played this, let me know. This actually looks kind of cool. But there was a reason I didn't buy it the first time. And anything I could play on like a handheld would be great because, I try to, I try to like spend time with my family. So, for, on the bed and the kids are on the bed or on the couch or in the living room or whatever, me being on a computer is like disconnected from them. But if I'm next to them playing on my Steam Deck, it's kind of okay, This is actually kind of cool. Alright, I might buy this. And I don't know why it's not working anymore. Okay. I mean, the visuals are gorgeous, man. And then you set up like a camp kind of thing. And I'm assuming, I'm hoping that, oh, that's cool. You can, ooh, I might get this. And it's $3.99. Please tell me it's on the Steam Deck. Xbox controller, it says Steam Deck verified. And that says to me, and it has a Mac. And yes, the Glorious Cause will be on Windows, Mac, and Linux. My programmer's a Linux guy. I'm a Linux guy. I've been thinking about other platforms too. Jeez, look at this. And we're only in the 80% mark. I've been wanting to get Warhammer. Jeez, mixed reviews. That's not good. Why is it mixed? 68%. Maybe get the first one. Skyrim. $10 still? I mean, I know it's a special edition, but I seen these, I think, probably for $5 at one point. So I don't know if this is the lowest price. The Forgotten City. I heard good things about that. I own this, but I own it on a different platform because it came first on, I think, Epic. And it doesn't. If it had Steam Deck, I would probably buy it, but it's not compatible. Make it compatible. Superpower 2. I don't understand why there's no like Superpower equivalent games, right? Where you can command modern day countries, and get into the thick of things, It's just weird, like there's so many games about the same things. But the games like Superpower, there's not many of them, right? Like, yep, we have Superpower 3, overwhelmingly negative. And after that, like, you have the same things. They always covers World War II or Roman times. There's Crusader Kings, there's Tropico 6 is probably your closest. But there's nothing like modern day Superpower game, right? Where you can command like today's nations, right? Build up your military, add tanks, infantry. You know, you don't even have to add a tactical layer to it, right? Maybe even make it hex based. I don't know, but make it something modern. You know, like I was saying to my programmer, like Battle Brothers, right? This is a game that he was mentioning. He says is really good. I should buy it. And I'm planning to buy it, but this is very similar to a game that I already bought, which is I forgot what game this is similar to, but Warband. Is it War? No, War Thunder. Something War. I forgot what it was, but I already own it. War Tales. Excuse me. So like there are so many games like that. Battle Brothers, War Tales. My friend's actually playing it right now. So like it's just the same thing. I feel. Hold fast, nations at war. You know, and then like you have this game, which is cool. You Napoleonic and World War One, but how many World War One games like you know that are like this? You know, I could think of another one. Just off the top of my head, I forgot the name of it, but there's a game similar to this. Where is it? Not Call of Duty. Yeah, the Verdun one. And World War I's, yeah. So like, you have a lot of games of the same thing, and it's just. And then there's an American Revolution one, and then there's a Civil War one, and it's just like, you know, I wish there were like, ooh, so, I want this. Okay, I might. I'm just gonna put it in there, and then we'll see what it's like at the end. I do want Age of Empires. It has very positive reviews. I just feel like I don't know. I could probably play Age of Empires 2 and probably feel the same way. You know, like kind of get the same most of the same experience. I have a different Aliens game, so I don't know. Dredge. I heard good things about it. It's 60% off. Came out 2 years ago. I don't know. If I was working, I'd probably get it. But again, here's another shooter, right? Like another World War II shooter, Squad 44. And there's like tons of other ones like that, right? Not to mention the, you know, Battlefield ones and Call of Duty ones. And it's just like, oh man. DayZ, and it's just like, oh gosh. I like games like this, like Contraband Police, but this is kind of very similar to, what is that, where you are checking passports. You know, this is similar to that, but a little different, which so I kind of give it you know, kind of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I do like that's kind of original. I really like that. Millennia, I feel like it's just Civilization clone in a way. Medieval Dynasty, there's so many different games that do very similar things to this. So yeah, and then you have this game, which I heard. I saw the trailer originally, was really into it, and then the reviews I checked, it says because they stopped developing it. I don't know why. So it's gonna be in early access forever. And I will tell you guys that my aim is not going to be in early access forever. We are going to, you know, hit early access. Lock down really core features, add more scenarios, what if scenarios. Talking to my, I was talking to my programmer about a scenario editor, so you can make your own scenarios. You know, so comment if you want that. Let me know. After the collapse, so this is where we're at the 50% off mark. And they're still going right here. I feel like I should get this just so this way I can get like my boot camp vibes again. Because this honestly feels like, almost looks like Paris Island, right? The sand pits, right? You know? Tell me this is not like a sand pit, you know? Paris Island. I don't know. Is it Steam Deck? Is it Steam Deck-ish certified? It's playable. I want verified. Starfield, man. This is where Bethesda could have like really shined, right? And, you know, really did something remarkable. And it's like Fallout in space, in essence. So it really didn't. I saw the videos on it. I don't think I own it. But I seen videos on it and I'm like, nah. You know, there's other games that I play for this kind of experience. I bought the one where you can actually go anywhere. I forgot the name of the game, but it's probably in more like this. Where is it? Creation Kit. What is this? You might also like. Oh, that's for that. Not Fallout. No. Oxygen not included. What's the name of the game though? I know it should be here. It's not Eve. No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky is $23.99, right? They added now capital ships in there, which actually reminds me. Without a doubt, you can play this on the Steam Deck too. I do want the capital ships DLC. So, I own it. Why is it saying add to cart? Oh, let's buy more from the developer. Did they just add the capital ships as a free? Because it is verified on the Steam Deck. And I don't see anything here for, you know, like, get your collection. I don't see anything here to add the... Did they just add that for free? The capital ships. There's no way. No Man's Sky Phoenix. I don't think it's free. Featured. Let's go back here. All right, so there's only one thing here. It's this Starship Phoenix ship. So does this add exclusive reforged memory at a time when travel is... So this is basically... this doesn't say anything about content for the game. It just this. So they must have added that as like a free... Yeah, it looks like it, because you saw him walking on the... There is no way they added that for free. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that more, guys, but that is insane if that is the truth. Living ship. Oh man, I think it's free. Alright, I'm gonna get into that game now heavily. Wow, okay. That's really amazing. Okay. Wow. Wow. But yeah, I'm definitely going for that instead of Starfield, right? Because in Starfield, you can, customize your ship, but like you can't like leave the planet and then go into orbit, right? And then go from orbit to another planet. It's just loading screens, right? Which just take you out. See, this is another one, right? Like, very similar to the other ones that we were talking about before. And then you have these expansions for Hearts of Iron. I keep trying to get into Hearts of Iron. I don't know what it is, man. It's just... I keep going back and I'm like, there's so much in Hearts of Iron now, right? You can customize your bombers, you can customize your ships, you can customize everything. Spies, all this stuff. But I still feel like... I don't feel that connection that I had when I had Hearts of Iron 3, right? Where I was able to form corps and armies and divisions, and I had greater control. I feel like something's missing. I'll have to like look into it and figure it out what is missing. I heard good things about this game. 6 Days in Fallujah. Pax Augusta. But there's like another one. I do want to get these. I own them on Good Old Games. I'm actually probably just going to keep them on Good Old Games because it's, I think, DRM free. I heard good things about the Precinct, but... Oh, Citadelum. Yeah, so, like, this is what I'm saying. There's just, like, another copy of a... And, you know, I was actually having a conversation with my dev team about that exact thing. I was just like, I'm tired of just, like, so many different versions of the same game, right? Oh, wow, Gettysburg Fields of Valor. This is, like, the first time I ever seen this on sale, like, ever, I think. So this is... And I do want to get this. Oh, my gosh, not for that price. Jeez, isn't it a DLC? Maybe it's its own game. I mean, I know you're like running a dictator. I know it's a different map. So if it's completely different, I know it adds even tactical battles. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I would love to have this. Yeah, let's add that. Because Suzerain, the first one was amazing. I loved it. Panzers on the Steep. So this is, I think, by the same guys. And I don't think there's a multiplayer. You have to, excuse me, I don't think there's an AI. And I think for every game, you need an AI and a multiplayer. Right. And that's it. Everything else below that, Kerbal Space Program 2, which is... This should be probably like $1, because it's never going to come out of early access from the stuff that I've been hearing. But I want to go back to this, and we're going to finish up right here. This is what I mean. Because, like, we have Grand Tactician Civil War, right? And it's an incredible game. But it's the first game of its kind, right? Adding a strategical and a tactical layer, right? You know, there's not many other ones out there, right? You got, like, these that are done by Hex War. And I'm not a fan of it, mainly because, right, like... You have Union 6th New York Militia. Okay, who's commanding it? I don't know. All right, how many troops are in it? Okay. Union 2nd Artillery, how many guns does it have? You know, like, it has 10 and 5% modifier. I don't know what that means. You know, so, like, Union Infantry Rifle. You couldn't, like... Historical accuracy is a big thing with me, right? Like, so in my game, Glorious Cause, like, I got the order of battle. I know who's commanding Rawls' forces. I know who's commanding Washington's forces from the brigades, the division. So they're all going to be there, and their leadership quality is going to affect their brigade, right? So... You know, and the amount of troops that are in there, we're pulling from sources that are historical. The actual map that we made in the game is actually based off of a map that was drawn in 1776, 1777. Either by Washington spy or, I forgot, but it said 1776, 1777 when I researched that map. But... Like, historical accuracy is a big thing for me, you know? Like, I wanted, you know, the distance of the hexes to be the exact, you know, and I, you know, like, I get overwhelmed with, like, things like, all right, where was Washington's army when they were crossing this road? You know? Like, I want that historical accuracy, right? And then there's a little bit of wiggle room to give it a little bit more of a... challenging experience, more of a fun vibe instead of it, well, you can't do this because this was not allowed, you know. So we're allowing you to detach companies from brigades so they can have some advantages. So we'll dive into that in another video, but anyway. And so, like, you know... 13th New York. How many troops are in it? I don't know. It shows like 12. Is that movement points? No. And like, look at all the GUI space that's wasted. You could put movement points. You could put how many troops are in there, what kind of rifle they're using. Is it a musket? Is it a rifled musket? I don't know. So how much ammo they have, right? Like in my game, there's going to be ammo, right? So I know how much ammo Washington brought to the battle, right? So that's going to be a factor when you play my game. You're gonna have to take that into account when you're fighting the Hessians, right? Do you stop the responsive fire? Responsive fire, if you're not familiar, if you watch Played Civil War Generals, right, and you move a unit, an enemy unit can fire on you, right? So, do you disable that so you don't do responsive fire, even though you're going to be able to inflict a lot of casualties, but you're low on ammo? So this doesn't feel like it's like it has it. Right? It doesn't like and why isn't there like Civil War General clones, right? Like, why isn't there like a Civil War General clone, right? Basically, do what Civil War Generals did, modernize it, right? And yeah, and it's just I don't understand that. And I know some developers just want to like push out games. And they're like, yeah, let's not worry about that. It's going to add so much more in funding and stuff. Okay, but do it, add that realism, like make yourself unique, right? It's just, what does 40% mean? Strength level 7. I don't like that. Like in my game, you're going to have the actual number of soldiers, right? You're going to have the health of the unit, right? And you're going to have the organization, morale, right? And you got to figure out, just give you a heads up, the American troops not going to have like the best morale and organization because they've been marching for hours and hours and hours through, I think, like a winter storm, I believe, from what I remember, and had to cross a frigid river, right, and then march from there. And so the Hessians morale is probably going, just to give you a heads up, it's going to be higher than the Americans because the night before they were drinking and eating and their bellies are full. They do have hangovers. But there's still ways you can win. And the GUI's just, I don't know, man. It's so basic. Right? Like, I get, like, obsessed with, like, where was it? I just saw it here. I get obsessed with, like, the font that we're going to be using. Like, should we use this? Should we use that? I want something more authentic, It really is a game of passion for me. Like to me, this is kind of like what I leave behind, And maybe well, that's weird. Check this out. So you know why this is happening? Because a lot of developers are not making apps anymore. They're making websites within apps. So in essence, Steam is what they call, I believe it is an Electron app, which is basically Chrome inside an app wrapper in essence. So that's why that happens. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, there's a huge audience for people that fell in love with Civil War Generals, right? And you can see it even with Grand Tactician, right? And at least Fire and Maneuver came out with an expansion pack, right? And it looks like it's free, where, it's not as in-depth as Civil War Generals 2. Grand Tactician, American Civil War, but it has the animations are basic, but they look good, right? You know, you have these troops here. You have an order phase. I'm assuming there's like a movement phase, combat phase. I was never a fan of that, so I kind of like the way the Civil War Generals 2 did it. But yeah, like, this is a unique game, right? This is different than other games that are out there. So if I would buy anything, like, I would be buying that. Or if, I don't know, Paradox decided to allow a Slytherin to use, or I don't know, the AJOD engine. Wow, 95 cents. Okay. You know, refine the AJOD engine, you know, make more games like it. Or, you know, since there hasn't been an AJOD game using a similar engine, make something similar, you know? It doesn't have to be, like, exactly similar. You can make, you know, it different enough that you're not going to violate copyright. You know what I'm saying? But do something different, right? Like, that's all the Civil War games. Fight for Freedom. I haven't seen this one before. Big Hands game, so this means it's an indie developer. But I don't know about that. Is this American Civil War? Okay, I'm assuming it's something for like a modern day Civil War. Okay. But yeah, like Orc Civil War. You have Orc Civil War. You don't have anything on Strategic Command American Civil War. You know, it's like this game exists because and I like games that are like light, medium, and hardcore, right? So light would be Strategic Command American Civil War. Medium, I would say Civil War Generals 2 kind of thing, and then hardcore would be Grand Tactician with everything on manual. So yeah. But yeah, I don't understand it. And you know what? Honestly, I put in Civil War, right? What should be the first out of all these, right? Bless you. It should be this one. This is by far, and I know it has 60% recent. I don't know why. The AI and combats, yeah, sometimes gets a little bit, and it does have a lot of bugs. Remember, 2 guys made this game with just a few contractors, so it was a big thing, you know. So yeah, I could understand that. Now, what I'm expecting, and we're going to have an interview with the developers from Grand Tactician about their new game, but I believe, and I do think they're going to bring the stuff that they're introducing in Napoleon to Civil War, right? I don't know if it's going to be free. I don't know if it's going to be paid, whatever. But if it enhances the AI and it's, you know, an affordable price, a you know, reasonable price, I'll buy it, you know, because they need to get paid. You know, developers need to get paid. You know, I just paid my programmer for, you know, the latest version of the build. So, you know, people need to get paid, you know, like they're not going to be working for free. They got to pay the rent and stuff like that. So, you know, when people say like, oh, this should be free, I'm like, you got to realize programmers and 2D artists, they're spending all their day adding this. My program was amazing. As I was showing this, the day before I was showing this to Slytherin, he worked hours nonstop, like knocking out bugs and making things more fluid, adding into the AI. And yeah, I was really appreciative over that. But yeah, like a game like this to me is far better than, you know, and it's what? Hold on. $44.99, right? It's not on sale? Okay. They didn't do a sale for it, which is strange. I guess, you know, they probably need the revenue, but like this one's 30, right? If I had a choice between this one and Grand Tactician, I'd choose Grand Tactician. No offense to, you know, the guys that made Strategic Command American Civil War, but, you know, like, it's, if you want a light Civil War game, that's where you go. But if you want, like, the full-on experience, right? And there's pros and cons. You know, the AI is not that great. There's no multiplayer in Grand Tactician, but it makes up for that with like the economic system, the naval system, the building ships, the supply, just so much there. Anyway, sorry for the long rant. Anyway, let's take a look at my car and let's end the video. So I'm at, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, that's not bad at all. I am probably going to, at least tonight, probably just buy these two, right? And then see, because I have to buy like presents. We have to buy a tree. I definitely want this. I heard good things about their DLCs. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and let me know what you guys buy. Put it in the comments below what you guys are buying from the Steam sale. Let me know if there are any indie games that are like really just. I know there are a lot of indie games on Steam, but they're like, you know, at the bottom of the stack, right? So you got to find them. Right, and oh, that's interesting. I like that they added the wish list. 278 games I have on there. But if you find these games, let me know, right? Because I want to support indie developers, and I love like developers that do something different. That you know, like a good example is the one that, you know, Disco Elysium, which, you know, made by an indie developer. Like, this is something I want to support. The art style is amazing. From the documentary. Sounds great, so I'm gonna get it, right? I saw Dwarf Fortress documentary, played the game. It's definitely worth its money. And you know, like Hades, would never buy a game like Hades. I'm not into like it. Just like if you watch the trailer and look at it, I'm just like, nah, it's not for me. Like. But then I watched the documentary and I'm like, I saw the passion and just love that they put in the game, and just like the thought and the decision making and their discussions about like how this anime should be animated and how it should be textured, how the music should be. Like, they put so much love into that game, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it, right, and give it a try. And I love, you know, I really enjoyed it. I have like, I don't know how many hours into it, but that's like one of the games that lives permanently on my Steam Deck. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Sorry it's long. Catch you guys in the next one. See you then.